Okay, let's go ahead, Allison. Now, what did you
What was
say
I?
about
Oh,
jury?
another consideration with jurors is you have so many media, but if you have either 3 or 5 jurors, you can't possibly. I mean, there are people who know different mediums, but that's always an issue in any in any medium, regarding the language that we might use, even in our description, without even getting too technical. Some of us might use language that's considered common language in the field, but if the juror doesn't know the medium, then that's an issue. So,
Yeah, but some of the
um,
shows let their jurors go through the images ahead of time.
but it doesn't matter if they don't know the medium. I
Well,
mean, like,
but they can look up the words that they might not understand.
or like, I remember I was during a show once, and I've learned that some painters project the image and paint from that, and I had no idea that was a thing.
Overhead
I
projectors, yes.
but that
Yeah,
was
from
not a
photo,
desirable
they're painting
thing,
from photographs. So it's
right?
basically,
So, you know, we can't all know everything. And so anyway, that seems to be like just, one issue as far as the technological things with each medium. Um, having a juror that covers that breadth of knowledge.
hey, painters that use overhead projectors can't complain about photographers. Right, Oscar?
Yeah,
So how did the show go this weekend?
what show?
Didn't you have a show?
Yes.
Oscar, can you speak louder or turn your volume up or something? Your
Let me
microphone?
see. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's it was an
Hi,
interesting
Bonnie.
experience. Hey Bonnie.
Hi, Larry.
It was an interesting experience.
Mm-hmm.
People, it's a place that you can ask question of question anything that they do. They are really condescending will be the best word to say, and
What
showing
show?
kind of Naples
Yeah,
downtown, Naples National. Uh,
the
it
one that's
was.
supposed to be so nice.
It, I don't know if it's nice or not. It's just that I think they have so many people change, too many changes in the last 2 3 years that you can feel the tension that they have in their side, and it's really hard to. I'm sympathetic to them, but at the same time, the way that they talk to the artists is not right. It's especially when you pay $800 booth fee.
Oh,
Uh, my particular case was that I got a sand pit in front of my booth, and I was almost 6 feet deep, and the park just put sand in there, and I asked if they can do something about it. They told me that the park decided to do it that way. Um, Sue told me just buy a carpet and put it over, which is going to be 3 pesos no matter what. And I didn't feel comfortable with that, so I went without it. I saw people kind of stumbling through it through the whole weekend. So luckily nothing bad happened. But it was one of
as
the situations, if somebody fall in my tent and I need to explain that to my insurance will be suing the crap out of the art center.
well, that had to be stressful.
It wasn't because I was not thinking about it. I was thinking that the people that show up at the show didn't have money to buy artwork. Uh, and there's some people did really well, other people did really bad. The show, if you're in the park, is a bad spot, but I it's a holy mess. I really don't think I will do the show ever again. Right now, after they get their act together,
Hmm.
it's not. I never and the problem that I saw that I'm doing the Mars show with them, and the artist that was next to me that I'm doing the show, we all was concerned about the next show, and then we saw the layout for the next show, and they got some booth put on their those softball field, this clay, and you can't even wear good shoes in clay because it's going to get ruined.
Hmm.
Any shoes that you wear in there is going to be ruined. And so basically, anybody with money is not going to walk into there. So I asked them to put me by the street or the artist parking lot because once I'm driving 3 days after that, I'm driving back to Chicago, and I don't want to be in bed resting for a whole week because I hurt my neck so badly. Dollying in, dollying out. That's the other thing that kind of I know me. The section that I was, everybody in the park can put the cars in, but the section that we were is dolly in only.
Hmm.
And didn't make any sense. They put an electric car right in front of my booth. And the way that they advertised the car was $15,000 off, and the price tag for the car was $37,000. But it's still they put the mentality of being a discount place, a cheap place to go, which is doesn't make any sense in Naples, you know. But that's just me. I know some people had the best show ever, other people 0 out. I know at least 2 painters in 0 out. I got a jeweler friend that didn't sell anything on Friday opening, nothing. A lot of people did well, but it's weird. I cannot tell you one way or another one. It's one of those things that you walk out of there disappointed. I'm lucky that I walk out of there with my average, my range of average. I hit the low part with my average, but it was.
And you feel lucky, and you feel lucky about that, I bet, right?
Kinda, because it was like everybody that told me it would be back the next day actually show up. It's one of those weird cases, but the quality of the artwork was beautiful. Also, there was a painter that I know him here and there on Friday. And,
You're breaking up.
Yeah, Oscar, your internet connection is freezing up. He hasn't moved his head.
No. Well, I will say, hopefully he can hear me. The fact that shows will disrespect their artists just makes me crazy. Because if it wasn't for us, there would not be a show.
And imagine having a sand pit in front of your booth. I mean,
yeah,
that's just, that's ridiculous. I mean, things happen, but then, come up with a solution.
Right.
I don't think that they wanted to fix anything. Even the entrance, they gated the whole area. And you look and it's like how people want to get to your area. And nobody was coming from the one side of the street. Most of them was coming from the other side of the street. So basically, I was at the end of the show based on the traffic flow. And Suro got a heart attack on Friday, and they put in a stand and came into the show. But he said that he needed the money. He had no choice. So I really don't know. It's been it's been an interesting experience so far down here. I make money, I'm not losing money, but it's nothing like last year. I'm basically I would say $11,000 less than last year at the same time. So it's concerning.
That's hard.
So
That
You
is,
just
that,
can't-
after,
You can't depend on anything in this business.
well,
And you learn to
I've had a
roll with
weird,
it. I'm sorry, Allison.
oh no, I was gonna say, well, you know, this first quarter of the year, I don't have any shows. But for whatever reason, you know, I've made some really, really nice sales online. You know, I send out an email once a month to my mailing list, and you just never know what's gonna happen. And I feel so lucky. I mean, you know, it's if I could do this all year round, I'd never need to leave. But you can't count on that either. You know, we have to have so many different things in motion.
Yeah. Very
But
true.
you know, pardon?
Very true.
Yeah.
I have to check something. Sorry, guys.
Hey, Bonnie,
I'm classy. Yes, Larry.
the next mock jury, either April 9th or 16th. How does that sound?
Okay, let me look. Just a minute, I have to get to April. 9th. Well, if the NAIA is still doing their Zooms, that will be on that day.
No,
Okay. So the 9th or the 16th?
Yeah,
Well, it can't be Larry.
what?
It can't be the 16th. That's the pack Zoom. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Okay, it's gonna have to be the 9th. Right,
out
Court?
here, we can ask Barry what he thinks.
the last
About what?
NAIA Zoom is tonight.
Oh, is it? Okay.
The next mock
at-
jury, Barry. April 9th or 16th? What do you think?
But the 16th
Not the
is the
16th.
pack. Good.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what, somewhere in there, I'll be driving pieces to a gallery, but I guess I can work around it.
The
I'll know better when I
16th
get back home.
Yeah,
the
but
16th is the pack Zoom.
no, the 16th is a Tuesday. The 15th is when the taxes have to be in.
No, the 16th is the pack Zoom.
Oh,
Pack.
yeah, that doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
We'll do it a
I
week
have
later.
to get my 2 weeks.
Do it a week later.
What?
Do it a week earlier. I don't care.
The
Do it the 9th. I
23rd?
don't care. Whatever Bonnie wants.
Well, okay, let's see
Barry.
what the other show directors think.
Okay.
Is it just the three of us?
I don't know.
And
I'm
four
gonna
others?
I want to,
Court?
well, I want to ask Sharon if she's gonna come back.
No, I don't mean that. I mean on right now.
What?
oh, you got
I'm on my
about 1, 2,
I'm on my
3.
phone.
Okay, so you can't see. You want me to read you a list of who's here?
Just give me a number.
I'm here.
8, including you.
Okay. Usual cast of characters.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, Frank.
Hey, Frank.
Hi, Barry. Hi, Oscar. Hi, Katie. Hi, Court.
Hi there.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Larry.
Allie. Cool.
Did somebody say Allie?
I did. Oh, that's right. You don't like that name. Oh,
No.
pardon me. Sorry.
I was gonna say, who's Allie?
Right, exactly.
That's Chris and
Sorry.
Annette's daughter.
I remember that.
Well, you know,
Okay.
like Allie.
It's just
Alice.
not, I've never been
It's
in
not-
alley.
No,
Yeah.
it
I
is
mean,
so
my-
not you.
My sister calls me Al, but I've never been in an alley.
You can call me Al.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
The Paul Simon
song.
song. Yeah.
Yep.
We should play that, like 10 seconds of that song when you get on,
Actually, it's more the Elvis Costello song, which my sister used to sing to me.
Oh, yeah. Allison.
It's a nice day, Barry. I don't want a tornado in the way to Taco Tuesday.
So what's next for everyone?
I got Bonita next weekend.
Where's Bonita?
Bonita Springs is by north from Naples.
Is it south of St. Petersburg?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, south from Fort Myers.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Then I got Under the Oaks, and I'm still waiting in a Winter Park. And then I got Naples again, and then I go home.
Have you contacted Winter Park to tell them you're still available?
It's one of those shows that the less you contact them, the better you are.
Hey there.
I understand completely.
yeah.
You do it right
You
away.
can show up.
All right.
It-
Hold on a second.
The problem with that show is they'll only, it'll be the last day. So you kind of have to be around, which it's like, it's 3 weeks from now. So that makes it impossible for me. Well, it is possible, but not possible.
Well, what do you have next? Barry,
Cool.
what do you have next?
He froze.
Oh, okay.
He's outside this time around. He came on the last
Being really-
minute today.
That is screwing
Oh.
up.
Hey, it's 70 something here in Michigan.
No, it's just,
Yeah, that's
It's
right. It's
gonna be
warm.
like-
Yeah.
It's gonna be like 27 or 32 or something tomorrow.
Yeah, but then it's going to be in the 50s again.
Yep.
You
Today
gotta look
broke all
beyond.
records.
Yeah.
Mild here too. It's been very blustery though.
Our high today is going to be in the low 80s, and
No
the
way.
low tonight will be in the upper 20s.
Huh.
That's about right.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, that's a bigger spread than us.
Yeah,
It's
the
82
80s.
degrees right here, right now.
But that makes sense. But not where a court is.
That's right. Well, we're in Florida.
Right.
I am
You're-
not looking forward to this summer, because typically when we
Right.
have winters like this, summers are horrid.
Hmm.
Well, I'm concerned for everybody after this warm winter. We're gonna be deluged with bugs, I think.
Forest fires.
Can you hear all my birds?
No.
Yeah.
No?
If I'm quiet.
I'm sorry, the high today is supposed to be 82, the low is supposed to be 21.
So Bonnie, without
Yes.
the snow to melt and make the ground wet, it's the forest fires will be worse than normal.
Good point.
The governor
Yeah.
in Kansas created a state of emergency starting yesterday for the whole state because of range fires.
Oh,
And you
Sorry
want to
to
see
hear that.
something move fast as you watch a fire move across tall grass and short brush, and it'll
Yeah.
move 50
With
miles
the
an
wind.
hour.
Yeah.
yeah. We have fire. We actually have had a wet winter, but we have fire warnings just because the winds are so high right now. But you know, it even rained yesterday and there's a lot of snow in the mountains. So thankfully, but, only gonna get worse too.
Hey, Barry, when are you coming home?
So never. Sooner than later. At least, well, not this weekend, not next, maybe sometime next week. Why do you
Do you have a
ask?
show? Do you have a show this weekend? I'm just nosy.
Yeah, I'm doing Howard Allen's Venice show because last weekend's show was such a, for me, a horror story disaster that I thought I should pick something up. Um,
Which one
but
was it?
it was in Sheep's, Key West, and I'd like to talk about it
Please do.
if I'm allowed to talk about it. Okay.
So you're saying
Here's
last weekend, but Barry, you're saying last weekend was Key West, correct?
like 2 days ago.
Okay, yeah.
2 days. What, today's Tuesday? Yeah, 2 and 3 days ago. Okay. I have a, you know what? I have a reasonable expectation of me, making all my work and trying to have the best work possible. I might not be the best potter or best artist. And, I get down here and I get set up and I think I look pretty good. And, that's my job and I have the right weights and and everything. I really dislike when a show director doesn't get it, doesn't understand what we go through to get there, and then cannot think in our terms, like cannot put the conditions, have her put herself in my shoes and say, okay, well, we need this and we need that. Not at all. Her thing was, oh, this is my first year and I'm learning. Why don't you tell me that months ago so that I could avoid your event? Now, this is what I mean. They combined two shows and I should have paid more attention. Part of it's my fault. Never should have been there. They combined a craft show with an art show. Well, and in terms of the art portion, there were some people that were at Coconut Grove that were there, but there was a lot of really bad art, and she kind of put like the art down at on one side, and the craft kind of on the other side, but it was really intermixed. It was like it wasn't exactly that way. It was weighted in one way. Well, I was on the other end, and with I don't even, people can't make that stuff. You can't. It was so bad. Oh, and there was plenty of buy sell, and it was just horrible to have to look at that. It should. And every time I'd say something, she'd go, "Oh, it's we're learning. Learn it beforehand. Go listen. Go work for Stephen King and find out how to do a show." Now, there were porta potties on all the way on the other end, not by me. There was a bathroom by me in the park, but okay, so you can go over there. There was no food booths by on our side. It was all the way at the other end. So there was no going down there to get anything. And the way, and okay, the first signal was that it used to be on the street, and Whitehall or something, some white something or other. And it was kind of a quaint event, interspersed on these streets. And the city told them that they didn't want it there. So basically they told the city, well, we don't really want you. We're not, we're not going to support you in any way. I mean, I don't know if that's the case, but that's how it seemed. When they moved us all the way over to by the naval station on the cement right along the water. My thing is, I'm looking at that and I'm going, one of these years, that's a disaster waiting to happen. There's no barriers. So, so, I think it'd be easy to walk over there and fall in, but that's just me. Now I was protected from the wind by a Coast Guard boat, but still, so that was behind me. But I didn't put anything anywhere close to the edge for fear of falling. And there were grates, grate, and the first thing that happened was I stubbed my toe on the grate and fell over, fell down. So I'm thinking, oh great, I could just fall into water. Or what if it was windy and I had empty containers, and I put them behind and they blew in the water. There was a whole, this is a disaster waiting to happen. And of course, I talked to people and I talked to other artists, and nobody said, "Oh, we love it over here. We want to go back to the other." And I said that to her, and typically she goes, "Oh, everybody told me they want to be over here. They really love it." Well, that isn't what I heard, but okay, let's say I'm wrong. Let's say the few people that I talked to, the 10 people I talked to, said that. All right, but it just seemed like it was just there. She's learning at our expense, and I want to be a professional, learn it beforehand, and then set up a show.
How long has the show been going on?
I don't know, years, 30 years,
Oh,
whatever.
so
but it was on the street.
What I never understand is shows change directors often enough, but there ought to be a system in place to keep the institutional knowledge, so at least the new person who comes in is not starting from scratch.
Yes.
First year, and she didn't know anything. Now I'm talking to other artists, and they're going, "Oh, this is wonderful." I mean, okay, if you think so, that's great. I thought it was horrible, and there was buy sell there. I know people I talked to said, "Hey, look at this buy sell over here." I mean, it was like, I don't know. I'm trying to, it's been 2 days and I'm kind of divorced myself from it.
Which show are you talking about?
Key West.
Okay.
So, and of course, that kind of stuff brings a certain clientele, and they were driving me crazy with their questions that, you Coconut Grove, it's pretty much of an astute, it's well run, and it's an astute crowd, so I was used to that. I was kind of, open about that. And I'm sure I'm in the minority of saying these things, but I look at systems. I look at how it's run, and I just hated it. There was okay, so they had some coffee or something on the first morning. They had nothing. They had water on the second day. That was it. Where, well, that's okay, I guess. If I had known, I might have brought stuff. But again, if you wanted to walk to, even after the show, if you wanted to get something to eat, you had to drive into town, where it's a party town. Everybody's partying on the streets because it's February. It's people are down for vacation. They're here having fun. They're eating. You couldn't really eat in town and have it wasn't quiet, and hey, a lot of people like that, so who am I? I'm just this old guy that's, likes to be quiet. We actually, Robert Zacconi and me, I kind of hooked up with him, and the second day we drove out and ate Thai food. We kind of drove out on the periphery of town, but the first day we were walking in town after he drove there, and of course you have to be careful because there's paid parking everywhere, and this is great. The where you put your credit card in, none of them worked. It was funny. None of them worked. So
I don't think
anyway, so we
blame the fact that Key West is a party town on the show, Barry, and that that's not the fault that the meters don't work.
No, I'm just saying. Well, that was just an anecdote. Here, Asker's sending me texts. He's probably telling me to shut up. So I'm just guessing. But anyway, I'm not looking at his text yet. But anyway, so we go. Listen. We go into town. We go into town and park, and we're looking for a place to eat. And the entrees are $45, and stuff like that. And then we're going, well, that's not us. And we finally found a place where it was reasonable, and we ate there, and it wasn't bad, and then we had to drive back. But no, I think they might even have a McDonald's there somewhere.
Gonna eat that, Barry. That's bad for you.
I know. I just wish that it was more organized and that it might have been better if I was down at the other end. But for me to have to see this, the woman next to me, I'll give you an example of these crafty things. Woman next to me took coconut shells, cut them in half, poured wax into the shell, each half shell, stuck a wick in it, and was
Yeah.
selling those as candles.
Oy.
Yeah,
That's what
So-
that was next to me. You
So
know?
Key West doesn't really sound like, I don't know, a desire, it has this history, but I've never
Yeah.
been there. But it sounds kind of like it's been ruined. I mean, the town, I don't know about the show, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be underwater soon enough.
Hey, it
so-
doesn't seem
time-
any different than when I did it 25 years ago.
yeah, the town is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. If
But
if
I've
you want to
never
have
heard-
fun.
I've never heard anything good about that art fair,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Hey,
Sorry.
did you see William is new here and he has some questions?
Hi, William.
Hi,
Yes,
William.
hi. Good afternoon. I just sent Larry a real quick message. I'm sorry I'm late. I have some legitimate business this time.
You're not late.
I set an alarm, but I got distracted between the alarm and the start time. I was invited to a show in Pass Christian, Mississippi in April, and I'm starting to work on the early logistics, and I'm wondering about specifically insurance and how to handle helpers. I have one for sure. I have two more possibles. Pass
What's your
Christian,
medium?
Mississippi- Sorry?
What's your medium?
A mixed
What do you
medium.
make?
I do wood carvings and paint them and put them into sculptures and habitats and things of that nature.
Okay.
I live in McKinney, which is north of Dallas. It's about a 7 to 8 hour drive. I've got the van rented, and as I said, I've got one helper at the present time, and I'm kind of iffy on two more. If I could get two more,
Do you
that'd
know-
be great.
Do you know how
Yes.
busy the show gets? Like, do they promise X amount of people?
Yeah, it's Saturday and Sunday, and they predict 10,000 people.
Okay, so
It's-
that's not too huge, but
Yeah. It's good for a first event.
Yeah, it's it's got me really excited. It's on the coast. It's most of my work is coastal themed. I do shorebirds, paintings with seagulls, tropical fish, that sort of thing.
So
And
what?
they're also running
No, go ahead.
they're also running an educational festival concurrently on Gulf life in the Gulf of Mexico. Marine life in the Gulf of Mexico is what I should have said. So that's right in my strong suit, in my wheelhouse. So I really have accepted the invitation. I intend on going, but I'm looking for huge pitfalls or landmines so I can step around them versus stepping on them. And that's why I'm here today.
What's your question? What's your first question?
Well, the first question is, where do you get insurance? Say I get down there, I have an accident or it rains, the weather's bad. Can I recoup any of those losses?
I have business insurance. It's an umbrella policy. And so mostly what you want insurance for is if somebody falls and trips somebody else, and I maybe someone else could speak to I don't know that you can get insurance per show for yourself. I think you'd need to
You can.
look at business insurance, which is
You
different
can.
than your homeowners.
You can.
No, you can.
ACT, their primary thing is, insuring artists for a show. Now, rain, you're never going to get covered, only in our dreams. But
Okay.
your main thing is you want coverage for liability.
I got the answer. That's true to a certain point. Okay, because okay, what you really want is the yearly policy. The individual policy, it's kind of a scam in that you need it in case somebody falls in your booth and sues you. But I talked to them at ACT. They've never had anybody try and get you know,
A claim.
have a claim. Thank you.
Mhm.
But okay, now when you buy the full policy, it's $278, something like that, and it covers your booth. It covers the liability, which you can call them up before the show and have them specifically put a rider on the show that covers that show, and they'll do it. It's free, and they do it regularly because there's a number of shows that ask for insurance. What you get with the full policy that you don't get with the individual policy is if your booth gets destroyed, they'll replace your booth. If your work gets destroyed, they'll pay for the cost of the materials.
Of the materials,
So,
yeah.
If you want more than that, then you go in town to your business, to some insurance company, and find out what the business rate is. Because they will insure it. That will be a lot more money.
I paid $800 a year.
Yeah.
$865 or something a year for
Yeah.
my business policy. But if you're just getting started, ACT is a good.
Yeah.
Here's
Hey,
the reason
Bonnie?
to have business insurance. If you have tools, a lot of times anything like any tools, things like that you need above a certain dollar amount are often not covered by your homeowner's policy.
Yeah. So
Also, if you park somewhere, go into the restroom and get your van stolen, your van full of all your art show stuff, ACT is probably not going to cover that.
they won't cover the work, the value of the work, but everything else they will.
Yeah, but it's just materials. So we all know
If
Yeah.
it's stolen
our work
en
is
route,
labor.
Yeah. Yeah. What we do is labor intensive. So
there are a lot of things that a business policy will cover that ACT does not. So I would suggest going and talking to whoever your insurance agent is for your home and auto and just asking them what a, general business policy costs.
Yeah.
And also make sure that if you've got a fair amount of woodworking tools, that those are covered under your homeowner's policy. You may have to put those on a separate rider to get them covered there. I know with my cameras, up to a certain amount is covered on my homeowner's policy, but if I go above that, I have to list them separately. That's why they are covered under my business insurance.
An inland marine, I have to get in there quick before I forget what I'm talking about. Inland marine floater, I think.
No, it's a policy.
They can put that, they can add that to your homeowners for certain things.
Can you repeat that?
Yes,
please?
Inland, like INLAND.
Yeah, inland marine, it covers you, I believe, when you're in transit, like when you're not at home.
It covers you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've used it for a lot of things. Oops.
Inland marine is a specific type of policy that covers your business items when they are not in their home location, meaning the location of your business. So that would mean to, from, and at a show.
Okay.
But
Now,
liability is the most important, as Bonnie
Yes.
said. Sorry, Kurt didn't mean to.
Great.
even though the possibility of somebody tripping and falling in your booth and suing you is small, you still need to
Don't
have
say it. Don't say that even.
Okay, liability
You don't want to
insurance.
give it, Barry. You don't want to give it a Kanahara.
Okay, here's why I consider
That's
my
right.
liability.
That's right.
Somebody tripping and falling in your booth and suing you is very not likely to happen. You backing into somebody else's booth and knocking over 4, 5, 6 $20, $30, $40,000 worth of art is very likely to happen. And that is also
Somebody
covered by
tri-
your
Yeah.
liability.
I had somebody trip in my booth. Thankfully, it was okay, but yeah, you just
Yeah.
never, right. We pay insurance so we don't have to use it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wild Court, a number of years ago, somebody's booth knocked mine over and destroyed everything in it, including the booth. And I didn't even think about filing a claim.
Yeah, I had a carving damaged one time and I took it to the post office and I insured it prior to for $300 and I was only going to get back half of it and I had to surrender the decoy. And I ended up
Oh.
with the postmaster at that branch and he said, well, you have to surrender it. That's just the rules. I said, well, I'm not going to surrender it because to start from scratch, it's going to kill me. So I showed him the
Really?
damages and he bless his heart, he let me keep it, but I got no money and I paid for the insurance. So what good
Right.
is it? I mean, it's a money grab and a scam as far as I was
It's
concerned.
that's the problem with artwork. I mean, our labor is, we can't insure for all the time that we've put into our work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it sounds to me like with the homeowners in this inland marine, that might reduce my risk for a huge financial displacement.
I'm not
It's
sure if
possible.
you're going to be able to get an inland marine policy just by itself.
Okay.
They're usually done as part of a business package.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, I used to get it with I could tack it onto my homeowners. Now, this
Okay.
was before I got a full policy. But how many shows are you hoping to do this year?
Probably two.
Okay.
One in the spring and one in the fall. And this one, I did a show in Galveston in 2021, and that's about 4 hours away. And I rented the van, and it was sort of a dry run shakedown cruise. I figured if I could go that far from home to do a show, there was no reason I couldn't go further with a little more planning. So this is sort of like the second baby step. It's quite far. The one in Galveston was a fun show, and I had one helper, but the weather was bad. It was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and a storm blew in Friday night. We didn't get set up until halfway through the afternoon on Saturday. So and fecal material can happen. So
Yeah.
Fecal. I like it.
trying to reduce the risk that far from home so that it's not too big of an impact. We're trying to think of every last minute to put these things together.
If you're only doing 2 shows a year, I would try, like the ACT insurance or the inland marine floater, and not a full business policy, because you don't need it yet. If you're doing more, you do. What's your
Okay.
next question?
The next question is helpers. With 10,000 people in the type of work that I have, I expect to have a lot of people coming through and be busy and occupied talking to them. And there's
Okay,
my son, my son-in-law, and my granddaughter, who are my projected helpers. Now, I want to pay them in some capacity in addition to the travel and the expenses and the lodging. But how does the community in general, if they need helpers to do a show, how do you treat that?
Well, first of all, if the show's going to draw 10,000 people, you might talk to a tenth of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
At most.
Yeah, at most.
1,000 people? Not,
Yeah, you'll have people walk in and walk by. You might have people walk in, they'll walk in, walk through your booth and walk out. you know, you might talk to 100, maybe 200 people. So as far as having somebody there to help you, you really shouldn't need it unless you
Okay.
want to take breaks and things like that. But usually there's
The-
booth sitters, or you can
the
get.
You know,
reason-
having one
they
person,
they have the booth sitters. Yes.
having one person would be
Okay.
enough if it's something that you feel more comfortable with.
I think the main reason for having helpers is for setup and takedown. During the
Right.
Well, yeah,
show,
exactly.
nobody
Yeah.
they only want to talk to you, and you're the one that knows, you know, the ins and the technical part and what you're doing. And so you'll be doing all the talking anyway. They'll just, in fact, you might even interrupt somebody who's saying something that isn't exactly right. I mean, they want to help, but you're the only one that knows. So,
But a helper could wrap things up, you know,
Right,
take care of
right.
the
That's right.
packaging. Like I think it depends upon your comfort level, you know, of doing it alone or having one helper. But I don't think you need 2 or 3 helpers for that size show. But you know, it's you know, it's nice to have a helper, you know,
That
especially being new to it.
honestly, that's a small show.
I'm making some notes.
Yeah, try to keep your expenses to a minimum.
Yeah, if you can, I mean, if you absolutely have to have help with setup and tear down, you can try and find help locally, talk to the show, see who they recommend.
Yeah.
Because taking another person with you and paying their travel, that gets expensive.
Yeah.
Hey,
There's
hey,
lodging and meals and whatnot. And since I joined the call and we started
it
this
adds up.
conversation, I got the question popped into my mind. Is it appropriate or is it out of the question to ask the show if they can provide assistance putting up and taking down the tent?
Yeah, it's
Don't even
Some-
bother.
it's appropriate.
That's
You
on
can
you.
ask, but you can't
Somebody,
count
some
on it.
shows do. Hey,
Right.
listen, I'm going with Oscar, and we're leaving in a couple minutes, but I want to interject something something I said earlier. I don't want anybody to think that Howard Allen doesn't run a good show. They're very well organized, and it's only artwork. That's the part I like about them. It's always artwork. There's no music and there's no food booths in there, and they run a really good show, and they keep any buy sell out. So I want to make sure that, you know, because I was laughing about, oh, I'm doing a Howard Allen show, but I only did it for humor. So I don't want anybody thinking who might be looking in that I mean anything negative about it. And I really appreciate that he's got a space for me.
Well,
So
we know how you feel about the shows, that you like them. So you said, well, no, you've said complimentary things before.
yes, I have.
So
Okay,
And
anyway,
constructive criticism.
bye.
I gotta
as
go.
as far as shows go, they ask, like I've done shows where they have like the local football team will help, but most shows
Yeah,
don't really
I
have people
remember
to help.
that. I remember that. Where was that? Anyway, I
Well,
gotta go.
yeah.
Okay,
See
bye,
y'all.
Barry.
Bye.
Bye.
But
Thank
shows
you.
shows should be able to
Thanks.
put you in
Appreciate the
touch
help.
with somebody. Some shows should be able to put you in touch with somebody locally that can help you set up and tear down. Now I
Yeah.
know an artist who travels with a family member a lot and whose family member helps, and they have a combination of pay. They get paid an hourly rate and they get paid a commission.
Okay.
Good idea. Good way to work it. And then you have to pay for all their expenses.
Yes.
So
I
it's
had some-
expensive to take someone with.
Right. I had somebody help me set up this summer, and he it was the son of an artist, and so he did a whole bunch of, you know, put it out there, and he set up and helped people take down a lot of different booths. So it was really worth his while. But I think he was like $25 an hour And, you know, it didn't take very long. So,
Yeah, he had quite the business going.
yeah, he did.
It was very smart.
That helps a lot because the helpers that I have would be family members. And I think that $25 an hour is a pretty good rule of thumb to figure out what I'm going to pay them.
I wonder though if it's because it would be travel, if a flat rate would be better. I don't know what other people think
Yeah.
about that.
How
I thought
far
about
away are they
too.
coming from?
Excuse me?
How far away are they coming from?
Oh, my son lives with me, and the other two would be my son-in-law and my granddaughter. My granddaughter knows how to run the square, and she did a show, she did a show with me in the Woodlands, and she helped me set up. And I gave her instructions as soon as we got there. I said, "Well, look, we're going to unload the van. We're going to put everything out of the van in one corner of the 10 by 10. And then we're going to move the van. Then we're going to come back and we're going to put all that stuff out on display." And man, she was like, I think 6 or 7, and she picked it up and she had a question. She asked me, and we got it all done. And she said, "Grandpa," she goes, "I think I want to be an artist." And I said,
Uh-oh.
think that over.
Get a real job.
That's not a good idea. If Grandpa had to count on his art to keep the lights on and eat and all those sort of things, he would have died a long time ago. But to her credit, she's now in the 4th grade and she's won a couple of awards for her art. So, you know, who knows what can happen.
You know, a lot of us do
Anyway,
it, so it's possible.
I would take her.
If I can.
Yeah, I know. I would.
Yeah,
too.
if I could convince her mother to get out of school Thursday and Friday, have her write a report and give it to
Yeah.
the art class or to her class in general, and I think that would be probably a better learning experience than spending 2 days in a public school classroom for sure.
And
So-
how is she with selling? How is she with selling?
Excuse me?
How is she with selling?
She's kind of quiet and kind of shy, but
Okay.
she's gotten better, honestly.
She'll open up at a show. I bet.
Her brother's a little younger, and he's the barker. He at the same
Oh.
show, he gets out and he offers people candy. Come in and see my grandpa's artwork. It's like, oh, she's my kind of tone it down. It's fun. Well, those were my questions. I had very little experience, and I haven't sat in on many of these calls, but I thought, well, this is the one that this week I've got to do it because, you know, it's far enough out where if I learn anything, you know, valuable and important, I can put it into the plan and, you know, adjust it in advance. Because the closer the show gets, you know, the anxiety, the pressure, the tension, stress, everything is going to be magnified. It's going to be 1,000 times worse.
So I
Yes.
hope
Right.
you've gotten a good return on this time investment.
I'm sorry.
I hope you had a good return on this investment of your time.
Oh yeah. I have to learn to speak up and talk intelligently and you know pick the brains that are assembled. It's you know it's an adventure. I'm excited about this show because it's like as I said, the crosshairs are marine life, Gulf Coast, shore art. I mean, I can't think of a better situation to be in right now than selling my work on the coast, you know, in the springtime. I mean,
Well, William, there is no shortage of people in this group who like to give advice.
That is so true. Well, come
Well,
back anytime
Well,
to
I will.
ask questions.
And
I
I'm sure
will.
we'll be delighted to hear how the show goes when you come back.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
All right.
something else that might be helpful, you can put on your calendar. In a little over a week, Wednesday of next week, NAIA is starting an emerging artist Zoom.
Whoa. When is this?
It's the National Association of Independent Artists, NAIA.
Okay.
Court is on the board.
Okay. And
It
when is
will
that?
be at 7 o'clock Eastern time. And if you go to, there's already a link in the image group. There's a link on the, if you go to the NAIA Facebook group, join that group. There'll be posts about it there, and there's posts in several other places on Facebook.
Okay.
And those are going to be monthly every first Wednesday. And we're going to talk about, it's all going to be specifically for emerging artists.
Yeah, perfect. Well, I think that tip just paid the investment for my time. Thank you, Court. I appreciate that.
So yeah, you'll get to put up with me for, an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Yeah.
So it's the first Wednesday of every month at 7 o'clock Eastern time.
Yes.
Okay. Do they have a website? They must have a website.
The NAIA, it was not on the NAIA website yet.
Okay.
It will be as soon as I get access to update pages, which I
Okay.
was working on today, and hopefully I'll have tonight.
Okay, perfect.
I don't have that anywhere handy, but if you go, the best thing to do is to join the NAIA Facebook group.
Okay.
Let me see if I can pull that up real quick.
I'm sorry, everyone. I have to go. But it's been wonderful. William,
Nice to see you, Bonnie.
come back
Nice to see you,
anytime.
Bonnie.
Yeah,
Nice
thanks.
to see everybody. Court,
We'll see
I'll
you-
see you tonight.
See me tonight.
Yep. Bye.
Bye. Let's see if I can get in here. It is the NAIA
The
FB
hyphen-
forum.
Oh, I was gonna say the website is -artist.org, right?
Yeah. But if you
What was
go to
again,
that,
Larry?
Now, listen to Court.
if you
Okay.
go to the Facebook group, that's going to have
Uh-huh.
information that's going to be a little more timely. The website doesn't get updated quite as much.
Okay.
It's a little more difficult to do. So all these are going to be, for the time being, they'll be posted on in that Facebook group.
Okay.
And
Got it.
the only thing, just when you go and tell them you want to join that Facebook group, there's like, I think 3 questions. Just answer those. I'll look for your name. I'll approve it.
Are you a robot? Prove you're not a robot.
Perfect.
And
right.
we have a Zoom tonight. We've been running some Zooms during the winter, and this is going to be our last one. But we have a panel discussion tonight, and it's for artists of all kinds. We're going to have 4 artists who are also have some experience being jurors, and so you'll be able to ask them questions. We did one a month ago. We had show directors, and
Oh,
that was really good. So those are not online yet, but those will be on our website when I get those online. So you can go back and listen to those whenever you want.
So what time is
Interesting.
that tonight, Court? 7?
7 Eastern.
super.
Did you end up having the one with show couples?
Yes, we did.
Ah,
We had a good time.
and good.
Court, I am doing market research on whether I can provide good services to membership organizations. And would be really interested in spending 20 minutes with you, asking you some questions about it, if you can find time for me.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Send me an email. It's Court, C-O-R-T. I'll just,
Put it in the chat, copy it.
that's what I'm going to do.
Thank you. I'll send you a Calendly link. I appreciate it. All sorts of strange things happen in this group, Bill.
Well, I'm glad that I was able to participate, first of all, and a lot of times those things come in very early in the morning, and Tuesday, oh, that's Larry's group. We don't have anything, but getting invited and accepting the invitation to this show is like, wow, now I'm committed. I've got to do this, and nobody wants to embarrass themselves, and you want to make money because that's like blood in the water. That's the name of the game. You want to be successful.
Another thing
And
you
that's
might,
kind of the way that I was wired.
another suggestion for you is a lot of shows have programs for new artists, for emerging artists. And they're all different. They're all sorts of things. The bigger shows like St. Louis and Coconut Grove have a 1-year program where you actually go in and assist, and you're paired with a mentor, or actually a set of mentors during a show 1 year, and then the following year you have a booth in an emerging artist tent.
Excuse me,
So-
Court, do those emerging artist programs, they have applications for the emerging artists?
Yes.
Is that right?
So,
This way
and
they
Yeah,
know
I-
they're getting people who will commit.
yeah,
I
and
applied to the Waterway Art Festival in Houston for the last 3 years, and I've been waitlisted. But the first time I was assigned a mentor as an emerging artist, and that's a large show here, prestigious for me. I worked as a volunteer for 2 years, and I talked to a number of the artists, so I gathered some intelligence and some inside information, what to expect. And I thought, well, this, if you're going to be one in a good show, this is it. It's very extremely well organized. They publicize it really well. And I learned some really valuable nuggets just talking to the artists when I wasn't volunteering.
which show is that?
The Waterway Art Festival. It's in the Woodlands, Houston.
Yeah, I've done that show.
Woodlands Waterway, yeah.
Yeah. Treat it as a business. Cut down on your number of shows. Only do shows that are good for you, and that's why I'm doing 2 shows with one in the spring, one in the fall. It gives me some time to build up inventory and do other fun things. You need a balance in life, and I don't want to be. I was telling somebody today that as the show gets closer, the pressure, tension, and the stress, everything's going to be multiplied. And 2 or 3 weeks before, it's going to be like working, and I don't want to work. I want this to be fun. I want to get up in the morning, work for a few hours, have some fun, and get tired and go swimming or go for a bike ride. I don't want to be working 8, 10, 12 hours a day doing this.
Yeah, I found the Woodlands to be a very interesting place about trying to drive and find things in that area.
What was that again, Court?
Hang on a second. Driving in the Woodlands is interesting.
Oh, yeah.
The signs, there's no signs, and the streets are not straight, and everything winds around, and it is a unique place.
Yeah, I go down there quite often. My daughter lives in Spring, which is just east of the Woodlands, and one complaint is there's too many trees and there's no grid. I mean, you can't. I mean, I've gotten so damn lost in the woodland in those streets. It's like, how do I get out of here? Just keep going in the same direction. Sooner or later, you find something that you see. But I've been lost there a number of times, and I'm not afraid to admit it. Well,
My parents have some
yeah,
friends that
thanks,
live
Larry,
there.
for this. Thanks for being there. And Court and Allison, I appreciate your inputs, and I certainly will let you know how the show goes. And if I think of anything else, I'll write it down and try to be on time next time.
All right.
You get no demerits for not being on time.
Thank you. I'm going to sign off. Thanks, everyone.
All right.
All
Bye.
right, bye.
Bye now.
Goodbye.
I've got to run too because I've got my Zoom later tonight and I've got a bunch of stuff to do before in the next couple hours. Actually, hour and a half.
All right. I'm gonna try to make
Well,
it. We'll see.
well, it was nice to have somebody on who had questions.
Well,
That,
I
you know,
advertised
that
on a
we-
couple of different Facebook groups about the meeting,
Uh-huh.
but it only brought one person.
Well, still, I mean, I think that he gained something from being
Oh.
on, so that's nice.
Absolutely.
You know, and the truth is, I mean, I feel this way that like we're always still learning, and you know, and I learn a lot from this as well. So, right, Elvis?
Say it right. Right, right.
So, Kaylee, how are you doing?
Well, I finished my long-term crochet project. It was a skirt using like thread. So
Oh, wow.
that was something. So today I'm working on jewelry of sorts. Not like,
Ah,
I don't know. It's an earring,
uh-huh, got it.
but it's somewhere between strung and bead weaving as far as
Oh,
everything together. So this is
yeah.
my quickie low price Comic-Con,
Hmm.
since have a lot of kids and students and so on coming through, so
Ah,
they can spend $10 and get something that's like, oh.
that's exciting. That's nice. That's really nice.
So
Mm.
I think I've got enough of those and I can do something a little more exciting, but
Uh-huh. So when is Comic-Con?
July, third
Mm.
week usually. I have
So you have
to
a ways.
like the 24th through, anyway, it's a 4 days plus what do they call it, preview night, but art show is open the 4 days.
Hmm. Right. That's a long haul.
Well, for it, you just sort of set up and leave, or you can mail stuff in and the staff sets it up.
Oh, that's right. I remember you talking
Yeah.
about that. That's right.
So,
Yeah.
you're paying for the whatever it costs to ship it, but
Hmm.
having to be there and
Hmm.
there's no commission.
Hmm. Oh, nice. Good.
Yeah. So, and they don't charge, extra for credit card fees and all that.
Hmm. Wow,
So,
that's great. So did San Diego dry out a bit?
Sort of. It was supposed to rain yesterday, but most of it never got here. I guess
Mhm.
LA got it.
Got
And a few little squirts, but that's about it. So, and then
Mhm.
next weekend it's supposed to come, this coming weekend, I guess it's supposed to be bad.
uh-huh.
So we've had a very wet February. They said
Yeah.
so far we've had twice what our normal February is.
Wow, wow.
It's not even
But
over.
would be nice, right? It would be nice if it rains a little in the summer for a change too. I know it doesn't usually, but that's
Yeah, that would be nice.
Only at Ann Arbor.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
No,
Seattle rains all the time, I think too. And Kauai,
hmm,
that's all
Yeah.
year round. But it's warm when
Right.
you go out and, bring your bar of soap and
exactly.
clean
Yeah.
up there.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So
things are soggy. I assume there's going to be a big push of weeds and brush growing up.
right.
But right now they're more concerned with fixing people's houses so they can actually go back to them. There's
Uh-huh.
that are like in hotels. 'Cause
Oh,
they're
boy.
are either destroyed already or they're
Mhm.
declared unsafe. Or
Right.
one lady, the house was intact, but she's got black mold growing.
Uh-huh. Oh, boy.
They had to pull off all the drywall
Mm-hmm.
and dry it
Yeah.
out.
Right.
There's a carpenters union that's helping rebuild stuff. But yeah,
A real mess.
so.
Yeah.
But oh
Um,
yes, and Mr. Mayor, who didn't get stuff done, is running for office again and saying, "Oh, look at all this stuff I've done."
hmm
We'll see.
Is there somebody else running?
Oh, yes, there's like 4 other people. I
Uh-huh.
voted for one of them.
Mhm.
But she's
All right.
Is-
an attorney and
Ah,
works with nonprofits. So I figure, oh, that's pretty good.
Right. What is your election in November?
Now it's the 5th. Our
Oh, that's right. You have a special election in the whole state, I think.
Yeah, well, it's our primaries. It's the Super Tuesday.
Oh,
A lot of states
yes.
have.
Right.
So, you know,
Mhm.
I got the Democratic ballot, so I checked off. I never heard of half of those people.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And
Well,
But
if
you know,
you're gonna vote-
local is
yeah, if you're gonna vote Democrat or Republican, they usually have the committees standing outside with a list of who you should
I
vote
mailed it in. Mine's already in. They already said they got it.
for. Oh, okay.
yeah. And they have open primaries in California, so you could
If you're independent or if you don't,
no party affiliation.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. See, I like voting in
Oh.
person.
Oh, you could do that. In fact,
Mhm.
that starts this weekend.
Well, it's only 2 minutes down the road from my house,
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
and I go there at 7 in the morning when they open.
Oh.
We have a sort of different way of doing other like state offices in that top 2 vote getters run off,
Mhm.
the general election if one of them doesn't make over 50%.
Oh, the what is that called? The
Runoff.
It's top 2 people, that's all I know.
right,
no,
right. It's
It's a runoff.
no, it's ranked choice voting.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can have 2 Democrats running or 2 Republicans or one of each or one of those plus an independent if they yell loud enough or whatever.
well, you put down your first, second, and third choice.
No.
Yeah.
They have, where
Well-
did they have that? They had that in New York, didn't they?
It's in California.
Not here. It says vote for one.
Ah,
The only one that you voted for multiple people were for the whatever local Democratic committee or whatever.
I'm not a fan of that ranked choice voting. We had it in Oakland, and actually, I think we had it here. So I just, filled in the first one because I think that somebody could get elected. I remember in Oakland, we had somebody elected as mayor who was everyone's least favorite choice.
No.
Yeah. So
Well,
anyway,
we don't have multiple votes. You don't go first, second, third. It's just choose one, and then whoever are the top 2 vote getters run off.
got it.
And Adam Schiff is doing something kind of, I don't know.
Oh, he's
Uh,
running for senator, isn't he?
He's running for senator, but he's mentioning Steve Garvey, who is like the only Republican running for it. And like Garvey was like nowhere on the list until Schiff started putting him in the ads with him and saying how he's going to beat him and everything. But that gets his name out there, and it's
Oh,
few decent other Democrats that are running.
I love Barbara Lee. She was my representative.
Yeah.
And the reason I really like her is because she's always stayed strong to her conviction. Like
Mhm.
a lot of politicians kind of go all over the place. I would say Bernie Sanders, whether you like him or not, has always been consistent with his beliefs. And I think Barbara Lee is too.
Yeah, well, she's like, where is she on the thing? It's like,
Yeah.
Schiff is only running against Garvey.
Huh, that's weird. Anyway, I think that Larry's ready to go.
Yeah, I
So,
gotta feed Elvis, and I might even watch the other Zoom meeting later.
good, good. All right, well, take care.
All right. See you
Mhm.
next week, everybody.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.